If you have been trying to eat less, lose weight, or stop snacking after 9 p.m. and it still has not worked for you, this is probably exactly why. You're not actually hungry right now, and you probably weren't hungry the last 3 times you ate today either. Your body has been sending you fake hunger signals for years, completely manufactured, biochemically engineered by the foods you were told were healthy. And you have been obeying every single one of those signals without question. Here is what nobody told you. Hunger is not always real. It is often a hormonal glitch, a misfiring signal, a lie your gut learned to tell because the food industry accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally, trained it to. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why your hunger cannot be trusted, what created this problem in the first place, and the specific steps that actually fix it. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you changes everything. Picture this. You wake up, and you are not even out of bed yet, and you are already thinking about breakfast. You eat. An hour later, your stomach is growling again. You ignore it. 2 hours later, you cave and grab something small. Then lunch. Then a snack at 3 p.m. because everyone says your blood sugar needs it. Then dinner. Then something at 9 p.m. because you just feel like you need it. Sound familiar? This is the life of someone whose hunger hormones are completely dysregulated. And the cruel part is you have probably blamed yourself for every single one of those moments. You called yourself weak, undisciplined, someone who just lacks willpower. But here is the truth that mainstream diet culture will never tell you. Willpower has almost nothing to do with it. A 2021 study published in the journal Cell Metabolism found that 2 specific hormones, ghrelin and leptin, are the true architects of your hunger experience. And in millions of people today, those hormones are broadcasting the wrong signals on a loop. You are not failing your diet. Your hormones are failing you. And something specific caused that to happen. So what do most people do when they feel like they cannot control their hunger? They try the obvious stuff. They cut calories dramatically. They skip breakfast because someone on a podcast said intermittent fasting fixes everything. They drink a glass of water every time they feel hungry because some article said thirst masquerades as hunger. They buy a meal replacement shake. They try keto. They try low fat. They download a calorie tracking app and obsessively log every almond they eat. And for about 4 to 7 days, sometimes even 2 weeks if they are really motivated, it works. The hunger quiets down a little. They feel like they finally cracked the code. And then, week 3 hits. The hunger comes back louder than before, stronger, more urgent, almost aggressive. And they are back to square one. Here is what is actually happening inside your body. Your hunger is controlled by a feedback loop. When your stomach is empty, ghrelin rises and signals your brain to eat. When you eat and your fat cells register enough energy, leptin rises and signals your brain to stop. Beautiful system. Except here is the problem. Ultra-processed foods, specifically those high in refined fructose, seed oils, and artificial flavor compounds, have been shown in repeated clinical research to disrupt this feedback loop at the cellular level. A landmark 2004 study by Dr. Robert Lustig at UCSF showed that fructose, unlike glucose, does not trigger leptin release properly, meaning you can consume thousands of calories and your brain never actually gets the signal that you are full. Then there is leptin resistance. When leptin is constantly high, which happens when body fat is elevated, your brain literally stops hearing the stop eating signal. It is like shouting into a phone with the volume turned off. And the calorie restriction approaches, the meal skipping, the water trick. None of them fix receptor sensitivity. None of them recalibrate the hormonal signal itself. So the hunger keeps lying to you. Every single day. Now here is where the story changes. Meet Sarah, 38 years old, elementary school teacher from Columbus, Ohio. For 11 years, Sarah tried every diet she could find. She was not eating junk food. She was eating what she genuinely believed was healthy. Low-fat yogurt, whole grain crackers, fruit smoothies, turkey sandwiches on whole wheat bread. And she was hungry, constantly, embarrassingly hungry. She told me she felt broken, like her body was wired differently from everyone else. In January 2023, Sarah stopped trying to fight her hunger and started trying to understand it. She got her fasting insulin tested. Her result was 24 microunits per milliliter. Normal is under 10. Her hunger was not a character flaw. It was a metabolic signal failure caused by chronically elevated. 6 months after Sarah understood her actual problem, her fasting insulin came down to 9. She was no longer hungry between meals. She stopped thinking about food the moment she finished eating. She lost 22 pounds without once tracking a single calorie or feeling like she was fighting herself every hour of the day. But more importantly, and she said this herself, she stopped feeling like a failure. Because she had never been failing. She had been fighting a broken signal with the wrong tools. And she is not alone. This pattern shows up over and over in people who finally stop addressing the symptom, the hunger itself, and start addressing the source, the hormonal disruption, the insulin sensitivity, the leptin receptor function. When those things are corrected, the hunger quiets down on its own. Not because you got stronger, because the lie stopped being told. That is the shift nobody in mainstream nutrition ever talks about. Not your doctor, not most dietitians. Certainly not the food companies who profit from your constant hunger. So what exactly did Sarah change? And what does the research say actually moves the needle on hunger hormone recalibration? First, she eliminated refined fructose, not fruit. Refined fructose. High fructose corn syrup. The stuff hiding in salad dressings, protein bars, flavored yogurts, and so-called healthy cereals. That single step alone begins to restore leptin signaling within 21 days, according to a 2013 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Second, she prioritized protein at every single meal, not as a diet trick, as a hormonal tool. Protein is the most powerful natural suppressor of ghrelin, your hunger trigger hormone, that exists. 40 grams of protein at breakfast has been shown to reduce ghrelin levels for up to 5 hours. Third, she addressed her blood sugar stability. Erratic blood sugar spikes and crashes are one of the primary drivers of false hunger signals. Stable blood sugar means stable hunger. This is the part most people completely miss. And this is also where we get to something worth knowing about. Here is your actual roadmap. Step 1. Get your fasting insulin tested at your next doctor visit. Most standard blood work does not include this. You have to ask for it specifically. This single number will tell you more about your hunger problem than any food journal ever could. Step 2. Remove refined fructose from your diet for 21 days. Read labels aggressively. It is hiding everywhere. Step 3. Hit 35 to 40 grams of protein at breakfast every morning for 2 weeks. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, lean meat. This single change restructures your ghrelin rhythm for the entire day. Step 4. Stabilize your blood sugar. This means pairing every carbohydrate with fat or protein, never eating carbohydrates alone, and eliminating ultra-processed snacks entirely. Now at this point in Sarah's journey, around the 4-week mark, she also added 2 research-supported supplements to support her insulin sensitivity and hunger hormone recalibration. Berberine, a compound shown in a 2008 clinical trial in the journal Metabolism to reduce fasting insulin as effectively as metformin in some subjects, and chromium picolinate, which has a solid body of evidence for improving insulin receptor sensitivity and reducing carbohydrate cravings. These are not magic pills. They are tools that work when the foundation is already in place. Sarah used a product from Thrive Naturals that combined both. I'll drop the link below if you want to look at what she used. But step 1 through 4 are non-negotiable first. The supplements amplify the work. They do not replace it. Combined, these 5 steps represent the only hunger recalibration approach that actually addresses root cause instead of just trying to white-knuckle your way through a signal your body is generating involuntarily. You have been blaming yourself for years for something that was never entirely your fault. Your hunger lied to you. The food system helped it lie. And the advice you got from people who were supposed to help you never addressed the actual biological mechanism. That stops today. You now know that ghrelin and leptin are the real conversation, that fasting insulin is the number that matters, that protein at breakfast restructures your entire hunger rhythm for the day, and that the hunger you feel, the one that kept waking you up at 3 p.m. and sending you to the kitchen at 10 p.m., was a signal failure, not a you failure. If this video opened your eyes, drop a comment below and tell me the one hunger habit you are going to change first starting tomorrow. I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper on the insulin connection, I have linked a video right here that walks through exactly how to get your fasting insulin test interpreted correctly. Watch that next. It connects everything. Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Nothing constitutes medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional.